star player and really lead the team to call out those rotations and really fix maybe where Reciprocity might be lagging on this map. But so no other than Rushes, right, to get us started off that initial, and a quick drop as Detox will take him out. Goes head, full steam ahead as Powers just makes quick work of him. It's been a bloodbath in mid as Powers hit a beautiful shot but didn't get the finish, and he's going to go ahead and get that chip damage onto Avexes. But he's pushed way back. Rise, they are here to play.
Rise Nation getting aggressive, moving forward quick. That's going to be 4 members down for Reciprocity. Rushies will find himself as the last alive, but he's going to be met with a couple pistols over at that A hill. Of course, Reciprocity needing to get this full break. A touch will not be enough. Rushies is down in the back. Shock trying his best to kind of keep this team at bay. So Reciprocity keeps themselves alive at least for now, but they have the opportunity to hold on. Can they do it? Absolute slugfest over at A.
Yeah, and Shock gets taken out, and this might be the window that Reciprocity was needing, but watch out, Detox continues to go off and hits Powers with a huge brick, and not going to be enough. I think he's going to get dropped, and yes, he will. Powers gets away, believe it or not, but Rise putting a hurting on Reciprocity. Icy already down to 2 out of 4 lives, and maybe a couple more
Fran and Kenny.
Yeah,
Fran and Kenny also sitting on 2.
That's, I gotta say, that was a bloodbath. Look at the scoreline, 100-10.
Oh man, look at that shot by Rush. He's hitting the full spread with that wrap shot. He's moving forward as well. Reciprocity back now on the aggressive. Currently at a 5v3 advantage. You're gonna see Rush and Powers starting to move forward again. Powers unfortunately pulls the pistol out. I think he meant to have a shotgun. Fortunately for him, Rise Nation, they have their shotguns out. They make him pay.
Franchise now just backing up, and knowing he needs a little bit of help right in Zim. Might actually have some pressure. That's going to be a good shot. Tags up in Zim a little bit, but forced to back up himself. As Icy, I don't think he's going to be able to be there for the pickup, and he will not. Franchise will eventually get dropped, and Icy now on the back pedal as Rise continues with the aggression, much like that on the initial. And very important at this point. Icy, though, missing a couple of shots. Will capitalize on the last. Ensign will get chunked. Shock now forced to back up. Powers applying some really good pressure.
They've been holding this 2-cap down for a decent amount of time. You see the win condition was in their favor until Rise Nation did go ahead and hop on that Alpha Hill. Rushy's going to make his way over there, trying to at least get a couple of these kills on the way out. That's going to be one. Avexes, they have the mark on. Going to continue to get aggressive. This is a good opportunity now for Reciprocity's. Rushies manages to secure his home hill. Now he gets to run over to the Rise home hill. At the same time, Taylor, they're winning the fight over at B. No one from Rise Nation is in position to touch a hill. Reciprocity winning the fights at the most impactful time in that round. They spent a lot of that round catching up, but in the end, they won the fight that mattered the most, and they kicked off that series with a 1-0.
Exactly what you just said. They spent a lot of the round catching up, but the victory at the end made all the difference
matters,
in the world.
right?
That's it, right? And on top of that, they kind of won two rounds in one, if you will, because Rise Nation definitely hurting on Respawn Economy. A couple players from Reciprocity as well, but go back to when Rise was leading, I think 100-10, right? And Reciprocity already had a couple players sitting at 2. They turned the match on their head. Now it's in their favor, and they're looking a lot stronger here. Round number 2 might go in their favor, and especially round number 3 and round number 4 as we continue forward. If we have any more rounds that last 3 or 4 minutes, we could absolutely see Reciprocity taking an early lead here, and that would be huge for them, right? They've been struggling on District. This is their opportunity to turn things around, and what a better way to do it against a team such as Rise.
Yeah, like I said, a big win over Rise Nation on District would be a good confidence boost, I would say, heading kind of obviously more so in this tournament. And then, of course, at the event, you're going to plan to see a lot of District at this event, I think. I kind of look at it, District and Asylum being sort of like Foundation was in Gears of War 4. We seem to see it quite a bit within a lot of these series. So tightening up on the most popular maps, always going to be an advantage as you head into that event. Ooh, big fight going down over in Bandstand. It looks like Rise Nation do end up having more numbers over on that side of the map, and as the dust kind of settles, it looks like they are the ones taking early control of this initial.
About to say, I was liking Powers' positioning. He was on the flank of a couple, but good communication from Rise calls him out, and the quick turn on takes Powers down, where he easily could have picked up 2 or 3 players himself. Franchise makes what looked like a great hero play, only to get dropped onto all 4s himself as Rise continues to wolfpack forward. And that's exactly what they need to do against Reciprocity. I'm not gonna lie, Rec, off these initials, just have had 0 time to breathe. Rise Nation has been in their face since the very, very beginning.
Icy kind of sitting there waiting. He knows there's going to be a ton of members of Rise Nation surrounding him. Just nowhere he can go. Good job by Rise. Playing together. Now they're starting to move together as well. Reciprocity playing a bit of defense. You're going to see Powers doing what he does best, trying to jump between a bunch of different members of the opposition. Unfortunately, isn't able to get the kills that he needed to. Rise Nation answer back. Much quicker round than 3 minutes, about half the time in particular. They quickly tie this back up at 1-1.
And I think that's how the last round should have went. You had a 100-10 lead. And you remember that pressure they were applying onto the home hill. They easily could have got the trip cap, but what happened? Reciprocity, with a couple of crucial kills, pushed Rise back. And as the round continued on, Reciprocity, they love the long rounds. If Reciprocity gets into these longer rounds, they always find a way to come back and to make the round in their favor. But if Rise Nation comes out, doesn't allow Reciprocity to breathe, Reciprocity just doesn't know how to answer back. And with the Boltox being in place, that's going to make those juice and info locations that much more critical. I can't wait to see this initial once again. For the past 2 rounds, it's been Rise Nation winning so incredibly strongly. As we'll see this initial fight off the rip as Enzem is going to have an oversight onto Franchise. And a little bit slower this time, right? But you will see Rise pushing down low. And nobody's been dropped as of yet, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely not used to seeing Enzem kind of sitting back and lancering a player usually kind of known for getting up in your face and getting a lot of kills like the one you just saw on your screen. So the patient play does look like it will favor Rise Nation as they now have the numbers advantage, and from the looks of it are starting to move forward. You're going to see Enzem make his way over towards Franchise. He's going to take his time. He knew he had his teammates there, and they're hopping on the B hill. They're going to hop on the home hills as well. Early advantage absolutely favoring the Swarm team.
Rise sticking together so well, are they not, Ryan? I mean, I love the teamwork. I love the team fire from them. It's like you're not just going against one player, you're going against 3 at all times. Reciprocity constantly caught off guard in these 1vx situations. They've got to find a way to battle that.
Where are you going?
Powers using that Boltox, trying to get him on the way out. It's just a pretty slow round in general. You're going to see Reciprocity now get on the neutral hill, down by about 30 points, but we're still very early in the round, so not a ton to worry about just yet as Powers makes his way over towards the other side of the map, trying to spread his resources out over towards his teammates, because it looks like Rushy's very likely made that call out that a push is coming over towards the home hill. Reciprocity now getting ready for a bit of a defensive stance over A.
Rushy's now has a couple players just up above, and he knows he needs to capitalize in this moment with a couple of hit markers. He knows it's an opportunity to strike, but up close, it's going to be Detox, or should be Shock, and Shock will take him down. Franchise, though, will answer back onto Drix, and now it's up to Kenny. Good movement from Shock to allow some spacing as he goes ahead and does the rope-a-dope with Detox now to take his place. Shock now taking the place of Detox. Good teamwork overall, but with Detox dropping, Shock goes for the risky pickup, able to capitalize, and Kenny still keeping them at bay. And this battle for A continues on as Kenny will in fact get dropped. Icy will answer back, and Rise will take a good recovery, and a nice shot from the corner will take Franchise out. Detox now focused attention on Icy, who gets dropped to all fours, but it's not going to be enough. He will in fact get picked back up.
Yeah, good early shot there. Looked like he kind of put himself in position to win that 2v1. Unfortunately, did miss the second. And look at the left side of your screen. Rushy's sitting now on 0 respawns. On the right side, right at the top, Enzem also sitting on 0 respawns. So the 2 of the main slayers for each of these teams. They got to be careful. They got to make sure they don't take themselves permanently off the map. A couple members of the Reciprocity team looking to fall in the kill feed, and Powers is just getting disrespectful, pushing people with the Boltox. Thing is obviously so strong, so I love to see when teams do place it, and the kill feed starting to light up red. Taylor, this is not looking good. Rise Nation are now past the 200-point mark. Reciprocity, they need to find a way to answer back, because very quickly this could end the trip cap, and I think they're actually going to just chalk the round up. Kenny's not spawning back in, Icy's not spawning back in. That push that went over to the Reciprocity's home hill to me kind of got everything started. It basically took Reciprocity's resources and forced them the other direction, and then from there, Rise Nation just completely took control, and now they come out to their first lead. And by the way, we have a player on each team with 1 ping.
Yeah, 1 ping.
Blessed.
Jeez, Detox.
Rushy's on 1.
Rushy's and Powers.
Detox was on 1.
Powers was at 1 for a second.
Enzem's on 4.
I just want to point that out.
Powers on 3, 2. Fran's on a few. Oh, man.
I'm happy when I'm at 30 or 40, but these guys at 1.
That's what we call blessed.
Absolutely blessed indeed. Talk to me about these initials, though. Rise has been so powerful off these initials.
Yeah, I mean, that was surprising me on both ends. Both teams pretty much kind of halted right at that juice spot and kind of get that early Lancer fire in before kind of making that push into the middle. So many times we're used to just seeing an absolute bloodbath take place right in the middle, right around those covers. These teams playing it a little bit slower, maybe kind of showing each other a little more respect, I would say. See if they continue to play out that way.
Well, here we go. Last round of the half before things get interesting onto Bandstand. I guess we will see a fight on Bandstand down low, right? You typically do. Is that OE attempt from Rise most likely coming through? And they can afford to do that. And the reason is because they know they're so dominant off that mid-fight. They know that they slay out, that it gives them the opportunity to allocate resources down low to go for that overextension. But with Dito, oh no, a missed stun. That's going to stun Shock. He's forced to back off. Ends him a huge misplay. Will stop that push entirely onto Charlie and also cost the life of Shock. This comes to show you, like you said, we constantly say it, right? This game is a matter of inches, and if he just would have thrown that just a little bit higher, it would have apexed that barrier. It would have made a great stun and allowed for Shock to push in, but because he misses it, Shock loses his life, and now Enzim is forced to go on the defense.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate stun placement, right? You kind of see him coming right behind his teammates, and you think, oh, maybe he's going to stun the members of Rec, and just falls right at his teammates' feet. And now Reciprocity, they eat that right up. As we head kind of towards the first 100-point mark, they do hold the 2 cap. They're starting to kind of build out that lead, and Rise Nation kind of a decision to make, right? Where's that push going to be? You're going to see Avexi's make his way towards middle. Looks like they're starting to favor that B hill. Reciprocity set up pretty well and pretty wide, just waiting. Now Avexi's has the opportunity to kind of be sneaky. He has a good angle down there. He can use that angle, put that damage onto Franchise, and now he gets to be even that much more effective, timing it just right, flanking the player into juice, and very quickly, Taylor, do we have 3 down for Reciprocity?
Seeing some great plays from Rise, and you know, they just spacing out well, team fire, Wolfpacking together, so many great things I can continue to highlight. But with that being said, a lot of rounds still to play out. Reciprocity still has the lead, and Rushies is now facing a wall of Rise players. A good stun, at least distanced out of Vexus. But look at how aggressive Rise continues to be. I have never seen more aggression from Rise as I am seeing tonight.
And very quickly, Kenny finds himself the last remaining member. Does get it down, trying to just buy as much time as he can for his teammates. Of course, we are in the last round of the half, so every single player has to throw everything they have out there. And so far, so good for Kenny in this 2v1. Can anyone get the touch in time? Franchise does get the touch and a kill. That play by Kenny bought enough time, and keep in mind, Taylor, Reciprocity still technically does have the time lead. It's going to be obviously a race very shortly with this 2 cap, but still plenty of round to go.
Quite a bit. And what a round it would be if Reciprocity wins this. Despite their respawn economy being so low, with Franchise and Rushies both on their last life. Powers does get dropped, and he's going to get finished. He'll be spawning up at 1 out of 4. And now all Icy can do is just watch as he's getting angled out from not only Juice, but also from the cinema area. He's forced to back off. Retake onto Bravo is in Rise's favor. You see they will win in 20 seconds, so the win condition now in Rise's favor. Reciprocity, they need to get a break, and it's going to start up top, and it's going to start on this fight for A. Some good stuns coming out. But now as the dust settles, Rise Nation with the Lancer fire, it's not going to be enough. Now they got to push in, right? They've got to try to go for the chunk range. Reciprocity very much in control. They were going for the domination. Rise will answer back. They'll get A, but it's not going to be enough. Reciprocity on the cusp of winning, and nobody's going to be able to get this breaks forward. Reciprocity, despite several players being on their last life, Ryan, will come through victorious and tie up the first half 2-2.
Sometimes, Taylor, it's hills over kills, and in that situation, Reciprocity went for 2 different breaks. They sent a member over towards B, got that break on Bravo just at the same time where his teammates ran right over to the Rise Nation home. The Rise Nation tried their best to play some defense, rightfully so, but if you let that hill break at the same time as B, that just everything falls apart at that point. We're already sort of past the 220-point mark. Reciprocity playing the objectives much, much better, tying this right back up at 2-2. Very impressed by that play. Very heads up.
Very impressed, too, the fact that they continued to get outslayed on the initials. Well, minus that last round. That was the first time we saw Reciprocity in that first half win the initial and actually have a point lead, at least off the first minute, right? Because before that, Rise Nation was having a just absolute field day, slaying out Reciprocity and having a good-sized lead, whether it was 100 points at sometimes or all the way up to, or all the way down to 60 or 70. But it seems as if Reciprocity is answering back quite well, but Rushy misses a crucial shot, and with the stun, that will solidify it. He will get dropped. Shock now pushing back Reciprocity, but doesn't have his teammates to help him out for the meantime. We got a 1v1 between Franchise and Avexes, and Avexes will capitalize in that moment and take out the IGL, get the nerd angle, softens up Powers, who will get dropped in the end. And it's going to be Kenny and Rushy's last alive. And Rise Nation, you know that they've got the home hill in their possession, in their line of sight, and they're pushing for Delta as hard as they can.
Let's see Avexes just being so active across the map. Put some damage in on Rushy's over at the home hill, then rotated right over towards where the B hill used to be, getting some more damage, and now finds his way right back over to the home hill to try to finish this fight off. So far, so good. Avexes making it look like Rain just running around everywhere in sight. Multiple meat shields coming into play. A very clean initial coming in from Rise Nation. A minute 9 seconds later, they take the lead once again.
I think Rise is very comfortable with being highly aggressive off the start. We've seen it time and time again.
Look at the difference in slaying. I mean, we're at 3-2, but the slaying difference
is massive. It's not surprising, though.
It's
not surprising given how the first initials off the first round was going, or at least the first half, right? Rise Nation was coming out guns a-blazing.
Now as you look at that cinema, you've seen Avexes actually toying with it a little bit. Of course, Rise Nation has that lead, so he's going to tease us a little bit, but instead goes to place that Retro Lancer. Now on the other end, Reciprocity, a decision to make. Usually we see them place the drop shot in Cinema. This time it's going to head over into Bandstand.
I know you like the Cinema fight. I like the Bandstand fight.
I love the Cinema fight.
I like the Bandstand
great to watch too. I mean, I guess I'm looking towards Rise Nation. They've been winning a lot of fights over in Bandstand, so we'll see if they can kind of continue that dominance over on that side of the map. And like I said, this time you're going to have a lot more members of Reciprocity there waiting. Rushy's going to get in there and going to get aggressive just as he does in Cinema. Moving his way around, and so far the early kills are favoring Reciprocity. That's going to secure them the weapon. A much, much better initial for the COG team. That's now 3 dead.
Great spacing from Rushies to back up and just get that chip damage, right? And he's just sees Powers just going straight through. Where are you going, buddy?
To the viewers at home, by the way, that is called hiding. That is not called secret manning. I'm still trying to kill that term. He was hiding there. He was not secret manning.
I saw somebody in chat earlier
say
secret man.
There's no such thing as a secret man, at least on Gears of War.
At least on Gears of War.
So, sorry, back to the casting.
No,
quick educational moment with Ryan Fools.
I appreciate, you're always going to throw that PSA out there. I've been hearing you kind of try to get rid of that term since Gears 4 Emergence days.
It drives me insane.
Good Boltok shot from Powers. The distance off some players from Rise Nation. Reciprocity will have a minor lead, but Rise, they're starting to chain together a couple of kills. It only means that they're going to continue to push forward. Shock, though, working through that meat shield. He'll go ahead and distance himself from Rushies. He'll go back for round 2. Hits him with the brick, but it's not going to be enough. Icy will switch places with him, and the Lancer fire from a distance will drop him, and he will get finished off. And Detox now, all he can do is just wait for the push that's inevitably going to happen as Icy down low. Essentially going to be pushing him. And a good hold from Reciprocity. They maintain control, and they're looking solid.
Yeah, pretty well spread out. Player in Bandstand, a couple players surrounding the hill. Obviously, Rise Nation know that there's going to be a drop shot coming very, very soon over towards that side of the map, and it's a weapon you can't ignore. Now Avexes making his way into Bandstand.
Doesn't even need
it's
utility.
That beautiful reaction shot. It's going to be the first kill onto Franchise, and Rushy's going to quickly make his way out of there. Icy on the flank. Let's see what he can do. Avexes is there for the kill. Avexes having a wonderful map so far.
Having a field day. Had the utility in hand. Didn't even use it. Didn't even need it. He still has it. We'll see how choose to use it in the future. Is Reciprocity, though, is going for a triple cap. Finally, utility going to be used. That opens up the door to push in, but unfortunately misses the first shot. We'll capitalize on the second. Reciprocity knocking on the door of winning at 250, though. Breaks need to happen. D being played around with. Powers fighting it off, and he's going to get a good win. No one's there to get the break, and Reciprocity will solidify this round. Rise Nation, despite Avexes picking up a couple of great kills, it's not going to be enough. Reciprocity will tie it up 3-3.
I was going to say, if you're Avexes, you got to be pretty frustrated there.
Absolutely.
Avexes is flying around.
And he's 35-9.
Avexes is flying around, killing everyone in sight, and somehow he looks down and Reciprocity is trip capping. And then when he gets a hold of the neutral, Reciprocity takes both homes.
Fascinating stuff, to say the least. And, it started with that Bandstand fight. Rise Nation, they couldn't win it. Reciprocity did a great job breaking in.
And to give you guys a quick update, I'm just taking a quick gander over at my my other monitor. UIU already up 4-0 on map number 1 against Fire and Ice.
Not much to say to that one.
I
can't break that down.
On District, by the way.
On District.
So we talked about how they're improving on District.
They're looking very strong on District. By the way, we have a snipe on map. I just want to point that out. Inzim has it in his hands, and he's looking to take some heads off. But to go back to your point, you're absolutely right. At this point in time, UIU has improved drastically on District, and at one point, that was a glaring issue in their map rotation.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, I can't remember the last time that we saw a sniper being placed on District.
On any map other than Vascar.
I'm here for it.
Truthfully, yeah.
I'm here for it.
Any other map other than Vascar. And right before Mexico too, so you've got to be thinking maybe
maybe a different strategy. Maybe trying to use that as a counter to the drop shot. Maybe a weapon that can easily kill a player on pickup.
Well,
I mean, there's a lot of different uses, of course,
sure,
for that snipe.
Well, look at Juice in video. You have that Lancer fire usually that spot right for the neutral hill. Maybe a snipe on that is going to be hugely beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out in time. Of course, still plenty of map to go currently. So we sit at 3-3, so starting to get down to the wire. These final rounds going to have, like I said, those quick spawns. Reciprocity, Rise Nation, they got to keep an eye on their respawn economy from the looks of it. Reciprocity, 4 different members sitting on 2, looking a little healthier over on the Rise side. As they have that snipe in hand, they can kind of afford to play slow.
Yeah, they can, and I do think Shock still has one more drop shot in his inventory too. Kind of curious when he'll be using that. Rise with a nice lead, and all they have to do is maintain that. It's got to feel good, right? When you're tied up 3-3 and you have a nice lead, you're in control, and you're looking at, or at least you're on the cusp of being 1 round away from taking the victory over Reciprocity Game 1.
Good team fire coming through. You're going to see Rushy's not spawning back in, Fran not spawning back in, Icy all choosing not to spawn back in. Obviously, like I said, they need to chain a couple to go. You don't want to use all of your respawns. See what they can do to come back. Rise Nation now sitting on map point of Xy's 39 eliminations through 7 rounds, having a wonderful, wonderful map, doing a little bit of everything.
True.
See what Reciprocity can do to answer back.
And again, Rise Nation leading this against Reciprocity, despite Reciprocity being absolutely the best team currently in the game, going into Mexico, and that cannot be disputed. Rise Nation winning at least District, or at least being on the cusp of winning District, doesn't surprise me. We talked about it, how strong Rise is on this very map. And it seems as if Reciprocity, that edge that they had on District seems to have kind of waned a little bit. And what made them so strong was that initial, and it's been on the cusp of Rushies. But as I do backtrack, the initial is finally going to be won for the first time. Rushies will have the drop shot in his favor, and he does a great shot onto Shock, and he's holding it, right? He doesn't even need to use it at this point in time, especially if Icy can solidify these kills. He pulls it out. Abexis, though, knows he needs to apply this pressure. He's got to take Rushies out, but he's got to be careful. If he applies too much pressure, he might lose his life.
Good start so far. Icy just waiting for Abexis. Pretty much knew what he was going to do there. Time to shot well, made him pay. So now Reciprocity finds themselves toying with the D-Hill a little bit, of course, getting that full cap now over onto the neutral. They get to start off now with the lead, of course, looking to send this to a 4-4, trying their best. Got to chain 2 more rounds together if they're going to take Rise Nation's map pick, and rightfully so, Rise Nation looking strong on District. They picked the map for a reason. They've had a number of good performances on this map and looking to kick this series off on the right foot. And big fight underway. Franchise notices that he's getting pushed by a couple different members. Hits one. It's a beautiful shot onto Drix. The composure from the in-game leader of Reciprocity shining through, and now he's looking to make his way over towards the Rise Nation home hill because his teammate Icy picking up a big double kill of his own. Shock choosing to spawn at the last second. Is he going to be able to make it in time? He's going to be met by a flash. See his teammates choose to spawn back in. A bit of a, I guess, an ill-advised respawn. As now, Reciprocity, they've taken it to 4-4. Again, both these teams full of vets. See who comes out on top. Again, it'll be a big, big opportunity for Reciprocity to kick the series off with the right way, taking Rise Nation's map pick.
And the win condition obviously has to be the initial once again. The snipe not making the biggest of differences is I thought it would, really. Still fun to see it over there in Hotel, but I haven't seen too many kills with it as of yet. But this is a crucial round, as it was in fact, and the Shocks, by the way, are going to make a massive difference, I would have to say. And maybe blocking that drop shot. Now we're going to go ahead and upgrade up top as well to a shock, so that makes sense. Locking the drop would have been pretty interesting to say the least. But with that being said, this was Rise's map pick. If Reciprocity wins this, that's going to be huge, as Rise was the favorite to take this game number 1. But it starts off with this initial rush. He did a great job last time. And this snipe, how beneficial is it going to be in zone? He's going to go ahead and push forward. And hits a nice shot onto Kenny. That's going to back him up, drop him down the all fours. The shock, though, will drop shock, if you will. And a very aggressive push from Rushies on the outside as he absolutely leaves the drop shot battle. Snipe in hand once again. And he goes for the quick pick on the Icy, not going to be able to connect it. Goes back on a Kenny, hits a nice body. That's going to lead Avexi's to maybe go for the finish, and he will, in fact, get it. And E is going to be locked in. But an overextension from Reciprocity is taking place. Double home hill setup for DNF. Looks like it's going to be in Rek's hands.
I mean, we asked ourselves the question, what is the impact of that sniper rifle placement going to be? And I mean, to me, that had a lot of impact over on that initial Inzem. Put in a lot of body shots, led to a couple early downs. At the other end, the Reciprocity, they do take control of those double home hills. Franchise isn't able to get the kills on the Drix. Now Avexi's finds himself with 3 members of Rec staring him in the face.
And that was interesting. Rushy's pushing on the outside instead of going directly in for that drop shot. I haven't seen him do that as of yet, and I'm kind of curious, did he do that maybe to gain an edge, or did he do that simply for the fact that maybe he, oh my gosh, as Shock will absolutely get value out of that one drop shot. We'll take 3 players out from Reciprocity. A 4th one will drop. They'll spawn back up, but you talk about retaking the round, but at what cost? The overall scoreline, about a 70-point lead for the team of Reciprocity. Rise needs to get the work, and it looks as if they might be doing it, but Powers and Icy will answer right back.
And Powers gets aggressive, hits the wrap shot, and his teammate Franchise is there on the flank. That's now 3 members down for Rise Nation. Reciprocity grabbing back control of E, keeping that 2 cap, and Powers going to put that Bull Talk to good use. Reciprocity positioning themselves to take the neutral and to get that new drop shot as well. Rise Nation, they need to make a good push late because they're down by quite a bit, and Reciprocity is not stopping.
No, not at all at this point in time, and it's really coming down to the wire. Rise needs to get these breaks. They need to get them now. And maybe a nice kill onto Icy, but he maintains composure and hits a nice shot onto Shock. Powers will get the finish. And then Powers will also answer back onto Avexi's. Icy's will take the drop shot in his hands. Kenny will take out Detox. Strix is also going to drop. Detox will be finished off. And Ryan, I think this is it. Reciprocity will be able to take this 5-4, and Powers is feeling it. He's emoting. And what a close round it was between these two as blood continues to fly.
What was that, by the way? That blood splatter, that was crazy, but back to the game, Reciprocity, like I said, they chained the 2 rounds they needed in a row. That was Rise Nation's map pick, and to Rise's credit, they kicked that round off with a great initial. Inzem put in a lot of work with that snipe. They got the early kills. I mean, they definitely won the slaying part of the initial. But Reciprocity, they hopped on those pieces of objective. And again, sometimes it's hills over kills. Sometimes those objectives can be what win you rounds over those slays.
Yeah, absolutely.